Paul Kamlesh Damji Pattni is as controversial as they come. A man who continues to hit headlines for close to 4 decades now, in different seasons, for different reasons and different territories. However, what remains constant in all this is gold.
Today is my happiest day, not because I am getting or gaining this hotel, but because I am losing Grand Regency Hotel, but gaining my peace, integrity.
Pattni made headlines in Kenya as the architect of the infamous Goldenberg scandal in the 90s, during the sunset leg of the KANU regime, and early 2000 during the Goldenberg Commission of Inquiry, chaired by Justice Samuel Bosire, set up by the NAC administration that sought to dig into the Goldenberg affairs, said to have crippled Kenya's economy. Kamlesh Pattni was only 24 years old when he allegedly randomly met then Kenya's head of intelligence, the dreaded Special Branch Chief James Kanyotu, while shopping for a suit. They ended up being business associates and would become President Moi's advisor. Then the Goldenberg scandal hit in a Daily Nation expose on 23rd April 1993.
As far as possible, we'll adopt.
On 31st March 2003, the Goldenberg Commission of Inquiry into what was termed as the biggest economic scam in Africa began at room number 2 of the Kenyatta International Convention Center. The commission, whose sessions were held in public, ran until the 10th of February 2005. After the Kenya storm in the east, Pattni silently relocated his gold dealings to the south, in Zimbabwe, and would again hit international headlines in 2023 when he featured in an expose by Al Jazeera's investigative unit, The Gold Mafia. He recently penned another gold processing deal with Niger in the West, 5 months after the US and UK governments jointly placed sanctions on him. After nearly 9 years of trying to get him for an interview, we finally caught up with him at his latest operation base, Dubai. What have you been up to? Perhaps if you could just set the record straight, ever since you disappeared after the 2013 election in Kenya, then you went silent and nobody has seen you, I think. I don't know when was the last time you were in Kenya, but what have you been up to?
Well, let me first answer. I slipped out is not correct, because I would say that the prophet was not respected in his hometown. So he had to go elsewhere, other countries, to do the miracles. So the last time I was there was indeed during COVID. It was around 2020-21, and I was in quarantine there at Sovereign Suites, and I finished the quarantine, and then I was at home, and then I traveled after the COVID, once the flights opened and all that.
Kamlesh Pattni and gold, they are synonymous. Is it that you chase gold or gold chases you? Which is which?
Well, my name, the clan of Pattni, means goldsmith. So if you go, you see any other name called P-A-T-T and Pattni, it's all goldsmith. So it's my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father. So we are all, the gold is in our blood, it runs in our blood. So this is our ancestral trait. So that's what, so I don't chase gold. Gold is inside me. It's in my blood, and it's the knowledge which has been passed on for generations.
Now, after the US sanctions, you've gone ahead and still penned another agreement with yet another country. What does the deal entail, the one that you signed on 23rd of April with Niger?
Basically, it entails a joint venture with the government of Niger to streamline and help the country achieve, the best out of its mineral, which is like gold. It's one of the 10th highest producer of gold in Africa. Because right now, all the gold is being smuggled out. I've got the statistics. It's not just go to Niger and show your face and you sign.
Okay.
It took me at least 2 years of research and preparation, and so there is a lot of, is one of the biggest producers. But all their gold has been being smuggled out, through Benin into Cotonou, and that's why I came and I said, look, your statistics shows only 6 tons a year, 7 tons a year. But the reality on the thing is 96 tons.
How did you find out that there is more gold than what the statistics of that country show?
It's very easy. It's there in the international reports. What are the highest producers? And it's compared to Ghana. And what is Ghana is more organized in its export. Is bigger than, countries which are higher producers. So I found out from the statistics again, and from the geo reports, and also from the ground markets, that how much gold is there, and it's being not sold on official market and it's going out.
Okay.
And well, I presented my report, and of course, Niger is a military based government before, and it's not like you can go, they're like a con man or something.
Okay.
They have got the most intelligent checks and KYCs and everything. And despite, as you said, the sanctions.
Now, talking of what happened in Kenya, now there was Kenya, you went to Zimbabwe, there were also issues, then there are the sanctions that we'll come to. But I'm asking, how did they trust you despite all that is in public domain involving the name Kamlesh Pattni? But they still went ahead and penned a deal with you. How did they trust you?
So first of all, the trust comes from your genuinity and your honesty, and your business proposal and your business plan. The trust is not that I am doing it. It's the nearly partnership equal with government.
Okay.
So it's the government. I'm assisting the government to streamline. Secondly, the trust comes from God, because Daniel, who was in his 20s, was trusted by the king Nebuchadnezzar. And there was jealousy that they tried to plot against Daniel, but God was with him. They threw him in a den of lions, but he was unscathed. So this is my story.
You've said it is a partnership between that government and you. So what are the details of this agreement or this partnership? What is in it for you?
Basically, we are, nearly equal partners, and what is in it for me is to use my God-given brains, the God-given business wisdom, to help the government to get the best out of their gold industry, and to set up a job value addition from this gold. It's not just about raw gold being smuggled out, which is the worst case, or even being exported. It's about how to make it a hub in the region.
Okay.
The way I was doing Kenya, to be the hub in the region.
So when you say it is a 50-50 partnership, Niger has the gold, the raw material. What are you putting in and what will be your return, because it's a 50-50 agreement between you and that government?
Yes, of course, we are putting in all the machineries, and the 50 means they, of course, they are also putting their share.
Okay.
So it's not like it's a real partnership. It's not just like they have put in the money, we have put in the money. So this means the refinery set up, they give the plot for setting up the refinery.
This idea, 36 years ago, I believe in 1989, it went haywire. You know how the whole thing boomeranged.
Yes.
Zimbabwe, again, it has gone ballistic. So
not at all.
So
Zimbabwe is just propaganda.
Yes, okay,
it's
propaganda, if you want us to use that term. So Kenya, it went haywire. Zimbabwe, you are saying propaganda.
It's proper.
What makes you think with Niger will be a game changer, or this time round there will be no issues, that again Pattni amefanya ile kitu, has done it again?
Well, that's the first thing, the jealous people, or the business rival, or the media propaganda is another Goldenberg. You see, so it's become like a song. But let me make it clear that from the onstart, Goldenberg was a savior for the country, Kenya, when there was no foreign exchange. And they keep on hyping and hyping and hyping. But when I have the truth on my side, no matter what they try to do, because being righteous is being godly.
Have you gone the similar deal, what you negotiated with Kenyan government and then?
No, Kenya was a different case. Kenya was Switzerland of the region that time. But Kenya had no foreign exchange. But what Kenya had was the industries, soap industry, mabati industry, steel rolling industry. And what Kenya had was a port of Mombasa, which is the entry point to all those landlocked countries like Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda and Rwanda and Burundi and so, and Tanzania was under-nationalized, and Uganda had just been going through the Idi Amin. So Kenya was the factor of stability and industrials.
Okay.
So that's where, and don't forget, Duncan, my age was 24 when people are still in the schools, so universities or doing PhD.
Yes.
So it's not my idea. It's God who gave me this. And I could not see queues of petrol. I could not see Kenya suffering. The citizen, the people of Kenya. Yes. I'm a Kenyan. I'm born in Mombasa. So that's where God connected me with the then National Director of Intelligence, Mr. Kanyut. And just in a suit shop we are having, measuring. And that's where I said, Mr. James, I'm a goldsmith, we have a gold shop here, and there's hundreds of kilos of gold coming into Kenya from all these neighboring countries. But Kenya is not benefiting, anything is just going out smuggled under those currencies and all that.
Yes.
So I said, why should there be queues of petrol? Why should there be all this, uncertainty on the shillings? And so I didn't know. For 3-4 times meeting, he just listened.
You were captured on Al Jazeera saying the same, and I wanted you to elaborate more when you said there's too much gold that flows out of Kenya, and you've said it's the same thing you told the late Kanyutun then. From which countries are we getting this gold?
Gold is a currency. Congo was uncertainty. Tanzania was uncertainty. The Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, all this. So mostly it was all coming in from Democratic Republic. That is, I'm talking about 1989.
Yes.
and it was coming from all the other countries that time. There was no, control, and it was allowed because it's a currency. If people want to food, people wanted mabatis, this, so they bring gold, and they take in barter the goods of Kenya.
Okay.
This is where I said, it's no, the country, the people, the citizens are not benefiting. There is no foreign exchange in central bank. So this is where I created this, I said, stop the smuggling, give an exclusivity monopoly, and then I undertake, the Goldenberg undertakes to produce, the first year 500 million, the second year 1 billion. And that time it was a lot of foreign exchange.
When you negotiated for a 35% export compensation, you stated was to aid you deal with these smugglers. As you've said, there's too much gold that flows through Kenya. Who are these main players, that the smugglers that you needed to deal with at that particular juncture?
They were my own, they were also Pattnis, and there were also other people, goldsmiths. There are not many there. It's a special trade. Mm-hmm. So you are looking at maybe 10 other companies or people. Mm-hmm. And they are the ones who were really, really, really angry and unhappy. We call it business rivalry. So that is where the problem started, that I put an exclusivity. And 35% or 20% is not that I put a gun on anybody's head there. 35% was not even me. It was negotiated by the minister, the Commissioner of Mines wrote recommendation, the Ministry of Mines wrote to the Treasury saying that in this case, this is happening, this is happening, otherwise the gold will accept. See, it's like when you have a kidney failure, you need a kidney donor. People will pay any price for the kidney. Mm-hmm. So Kenya has Kenyan shilling, but it needed for that zero negative balance of foreign exchange. And the Export Compensation Act was a law. Mm-hmm. It was for everybody. It was not only for Goldenberg or, as they are saying, it's, one person. Okay. You see, so it's just the jealousy, the business rivalry, the politics came into it, which destroyed this thing. And it did its job. What did it do? Let me explain you to Andy. Goldenberg earned so much foreign exchange. By 1994, yes, the central bank had $3 billion surplus credit. That is where the country could remove, check the August 94. It abolished the Exchange Control Act.
Now, this rivalry that you said, the fellow dealers in gold, the rivalries that you needed to be shielded from, how does that network operate, and how big, how entrenched is that, the cartels in gold?
Well, it's, Duncan, gold, as I told you, is next to the top trades of oil, and it's one of the most expensive, valuable. So it's not a trade for for small things, like selling vegetables in the market or something. So there's, you face the giants. So the people were, I put so many people out of action. I'm talking about my own people, you see, and they are there in all the reports, again Pattni and all. So then they used, initially they couldn't, because we were still under, one party state up to the December 92 election. Come 92 election going, then they started. Of course, they hired politicians, mm-hmm, and the police started, putting document.
Yes.
Let me explain you, because this is 35 years ago. Let me give you in a layman's language. You know, if you hire a chef, you have promised him a salary. He cooks the food. For 3 years, you are eating, you know, the food. It's delicious, it's nice, it's feeding, you know, you're healthy and everything. After the 3 years, just suddenly it wakes up with propaganda and then you say, refund all the salary you were paid wrong. So I brought the foreign exchange. It's there. It's here in black and white. I brought it. It's that the gold exports earned, you know, it's in the paper also. The then Minister of Finance confirmed. And they said there was nothing illegal, there was nothing wrong. Everything was clean. And just because of the pressures, then we came to multi-party, and then the hula baloo started of this. Then the business rivals used you know, different medias to, you know, to tell the lies, and the lies told 1,000 times becomes the truth.
Okay.
As they say, you know, that by the time you are putting your shoes on, the lies have traveled the world. And so this is why I'm saying it's, and then, you know, and then it's not 24, let's say 27 years by the time I was a kid, and I am being attacked from all angles, you know. And there was no Goldenberg scandal.
Okay.
The scandal was called the banking scandal. Central bank lent unsecured money to the political banks. Then who is the easy sacrificial lamb? Is a minority, is a non. You know, Kenya has got so many tribal factors.
But because maybe you were the brain behind, that's why they had to, now that it was said to be a scandal and it was your idea, maybe that explains why they came for you, the originator.
But where is the scandal? Up to today, show me the scandal. You talk about what? You
5.8 billion, it's the 5.8 billion scandal?
Which 5.8 billion? Is just a creation of the central bank that time to save its governor, you know, to save all these political banks, to save. So, you know, it's like, would a father sacrifice his relative, nephew, son, or is it easier to sacrifice an outsider, an minority Indian?
JKIA, it has been regarded as a crime scene. There are reports of fake gold. There are reports of theft of gold. There are reports of illicit gold transiting. How serious is this at JKIA, and who are some of the people? You're in the gold business. By now you must be knowing.
Of course.
Yes.
You see, I tried my best.
How serious is it? And
it's very serious. It's not me saying. Ask. I saw the other day, you know, the air hostesses and people are caught in the Indian airport and this airport, and still your airport's gold is being smuggled out. Your minister of mines, Honorable Joe, he was on the media saying, you are starting a refinery in Migori site. I saw the other day the Vice President, Honorable Kindiki, went there. It's going to be commissioned soon. They have gold production there. So why were they, you know? You see, this goes to prove that I was real. I was genuine. I'm
asking, who are these people who are involved? You say this big business, it's not for selling vegetable like and all that. Gold is serious business. Who are these people involved?
In Kenya?
Yes.
Well, in Kenya, I told you I had streamlined. But gold has got, you know, huge, it will never be allowed to, whether I'm in Zimbabwe or Niger, there'll be this propaganda to destroy. Because, so in Kenya, after they destroyed Goldenberg. Scandalize. You see, you expect me to what? After all this, what I went? I said, you know, God bless. I said, vengeance is for the Lord. And now the cartels, the smugglers are there. And who are they or what are they? It's not my job. It belongs to direct. It's for the investigate. But they are, you know, because the gold still comes there. Of course, there is fake skin, you know, conman thing also. And but of course, Kenya is putting a refinery in Migori. The gold is being mined. So even me, they were saying, oh, Pattni was exporting air, AIR. Yet we have a Scotland Yard report here from UK saying so much gold came to UK. That's hidden. That was hidden from the whole thing. So, you know, this is, today I decided to speak because, you know, I said that the truth can only be heard when all these lies and fake news and everything is calmed. You see, like now, today, my name was so scandalized and spoiled, and that as if I am the most evil person, that I could not have any privacy in Kenya. That's why I said that the prophet was not respected in his hometown. And the world is big. And there is respect when you have the right, you know, ideas. And, you know, I'm not saying all these things.
Okay.
I'll read you these words from Jaramogi Odinga from the Public Accounts Committee. What did Jaramogi say at age of, you know, the wisdom? This is indeed true. The press has been warned by the courts time and time again. They cleared me from the public accounts. You get my point?
I do.
So this is why I'm saying that I respect, and the same thing what happened there with the the words. The same thing happened with the Wamalwa committee, because here you can see this is Jaramogi. Sorry, you can see that Mr. Pattni is a very prominent businessman in Kenya. Even me, Jaramogi, I got very surprised when I got into that building, which is the Goldenberg that referred. We thank you, Mr. Pattni. Carry on with your business. Business is always like that. Very many people are jealous, business rivalry of you, and that is why they come to pressurize you and go around accusing you all over the world. Now they're all over the world and so on. Now you can see that our committee, public account, is not like that. It is not interested in such things. We wanted to satisfy ourselves. If any member has any question, Pattni is here to answer.
Now, Pattni is here to answer. You've mentioned James Kanyotu.
Yes.
And you've said you were a small boy at the age of 24.
Yes.
You explained that you walked into a shop to buy a suit.
Yes.
And then you bumped into Kanyotu.
Yes.
How was this possible for a 24-year-old, young as you've said, and who Kanyotu was, the head of intelligence, the longest serving in Kenya's history, 27 years, the dreaded or revered individual? How possible was it just strangers to meet and discuss the matters to do with the gold trade?
Well, it's as possible as I said that it's God who directs your steps. If you are the chosen one, if Lord God be with you, there is, you know, things happen which you have not imagined. That answers your question about meeting Kanyotu. It answers your question about Niger, Zimbabwe. So, you know, it's not me who wants to run to this. It's God who takes my steps to this country, and it is the favor of God. You know, once the favor of God is on you, yeah, you know, he can do miracles. I don't know if you believe that the God is a God of miracles. So that's where I was there, and Kanyotu was there. And as friendly and as humble as I am, I talk to people, you know, I'm not arrogant or rude. So that's when I talked with him, and I invited him I said my office is just up here, and he liked Indian tea. He was very fond of the masala tea. So that's when I invited him. So I can only give the answer that it's by the will of God that I met him. And the words I spoke at the age of 24 were not my words. They come from God.
As they say, the rest is history.
Glory.
Explain to me this idea you had as a 24-year-old, this gold trade, this Goldenberg.
Yes.
What did you envision? What was your thinking it would turn to?
My envision was already turning that it was, if it was not for the scandalization, this would have taken Kenya very far. But doesn't matter. It did its job. Even if I was sacrificed, Kenya is today a respectable, country.
That's what I'm asking. What was your idea for this gold? What was your thinking?
My thinking was to make Kenya, Nairobi, into like Dubai. Dubai today is a hub. Dubai trades nearly 4 tons of gold per day. You see, you are sitting, this is gold souk, and this is the heart of the gold trade. So my vision for Kenya was to create, and Kenya had all the ingredients to become a gold hub. You see, because you bring gold to Dubai, correct? Yes. Airport, and you say in the check you have gold. You will be given the cart. You will not even walk. You don't have to. There is a lounge. You get tea there. You got. In Kenya, you come with gold. It's still, and not only that. After Goldenberg, I tried. So I created the free zone. There is export free zone, gold, and we brought gold. The gold was seized at Nairobi airport. Seize-year notice put into them.
Okay. And
took me about 3-4 weeks to release. It can't work like that. That is why people ask, how can, Dubai is so successful in this? It's because, here there is no propaganda, there is no, jealousy. You can't, there is no politics. There is no, here, you see that in Kenya, if you make profit from a genuine business, correct? If I do a business and I make profits, and if the profits are in hundreds of millions, correct? They'll say this is a thief.
Okay. You asked, among other things, to be allowed to have a financial institution for purposes of processing the huge sums.
Yes.
Why did you not trust the banks that existed then? Because you just wanted your own space to do the business and all that. Was it to evade scrutiny, or what was the idea that you said Goldenberg International Limited should have its own financial institution?
Not at all. It's nothing to do with scrutiny, because the money from the export of gold comes to central bank. The only thing is that, to have this gold business, it grew. So you need efficiency. You need that there is cash payment, there is, so that's why you need your own, because with other banks, there were too many, like, oh, we don't have cash today, oh, we don't have this, oh, okay, give us 48-hour notice, oh, so it's a part and parcel of any gold bullion that there is a bank. You see, because even here now we have got banks which deal with the gold storage and everything.
Okay.
So there was nothing like sinister, as they say. In fact, I would have been lucky if we had not opened exchange bank, because then there would have been no chance of central bank dumping on our head this
During the inquiry, the Bosire Commission, some of the sentiments that came out, they said this was a scheme for money laundering.
Well, this is Bosire inquiry you are talking about. The chairman of Bosire inquiry was Justice Bosire. And that was inquiry when? Was it in 1994? Was it in 2000? It was when Moi left power. What is this? Is the characteristic in Africa. When one president leaves, comes the new one, and you are crushed. Whoever dealt with Moi it has to be crushed. So that was unheard of, that inquiry, as shame as it was. It wasted taxpayers' money. And what is the end result of the... How can you have a judicial inquiry when you had Goldenberg cases from 1994 up to 2003, all the way appeal court tried? Who is superior? The courts are superior to a judicial inquiry. But Duncan, this is the problem why, there has to be a rule of law. There has to be respect for the courts of law. You can't just because the people ganged up. The minute, Kibaki came into power, the whole thing was to, how can we, now bring Moi to the...
Okay.
But you see, as I said, and then in that whole, who is the easy? I'm on record. Go to the proceedings of the Bosire inquiry. And I told Justice Bosire, I said, you can sacrifice me because I'm nobody. I'm the smallest of the tribe. And you can. But remember, it's God, I'm protected by the blood of Jesus. It's God who gives power, and God will answer if there is any thing which is big. Because I can talk for maybe hours and hours, because what was Bosire inquiry. I was put in fake murder charge, in jail, in what? No freedom.
We will come to that, but tell me, at the age of 24, you meet James Kanyotu, the head of intelligence. Again, at the age of 24, you become President Moi's advisor. How did this coincidence, how fast? It was too fast, if you ask me. What was the gap after meeting Kanyotu and becoming President Moi's advisor at the age of 24?
No. There was a gap. It was, I became advisor in 1992 when he appointed me as an emissary. And of course, President Moi was a brilliant president. And it was not just that he would appoint anyone or anything. He saw what I spoke is what I delivered. You see how, again, the answer lies in this book. Daniel became the advisor to King Nebuchadnezzar in his early 20s. So it's exactly the story. You will find, whatever happens in this world today, it's all there in the Bible. It's in the scripture.
What were your qualifications then? Now you said 92, and then you are not 24, you are 27. Those are three more years. What is your education background? What is your line of profession that would now warrant you to be the advisor?
No. So I was not an advisor based on my Harvard degree or some degree. I had no degree. My education is, I finished A-level in Kenya, then I went to University of Münster in Germany, and I was doing German language and business administration, and I could not complete because my father died in accident in Mombasa, so I had to return back and take over. So, but it is clear in the scripture, what God has shown to the unlearned, he has kept it hidden from the learned.
So how did this brilliant idea that you had in 1989 at the age of 24 to transform Kenya's economy end up in what was called a mega scam. In fact, there are those who put it that it is the biggest economic scandal in Africa. So how did your brilliant idea end up into a mega scandal, Goldenberg?
Well, it ended up into mega scandal because they thought that, you know, because there was all this, the thing about multi-party democracy from 1989. And, and there was this bottleneck. There was, you know, Sabha riots, this riot. But you see, it is a blessing in disguise. After the Goldenberg came in, the government then felt, and the director of intelligence that time, Mr. Kanyutu, we could advise the president that there is no need of a single party when the country is now, you know, already doing so well. That's why you see it was 93 January, there was a multi-party. And the scandal started because I told you from day one that people didn't, you know, the business rivals, the cartels were blocked. So they funded some of the politicians, and they funded somebody in central bank, that somebody they call whistleblower and this. But you look, all those documents, the end result is that we brought foreign exchange to the country. It was utilized. The country survived on it. Then you say, I'm a thief, I'm this. And then how did it grow more? Of course, it started, you know, they say a spark can set fire to the forest. So it started with a spark. Then came the succession politics, Mr. Duncan, don't forget. Who approved? Saitoti approved. Goldenberg, he was the Minister of Finance, and he signed, he this. So Goldenberg, they said, oh, it's Saitoti's thing. Then it is like succession scheme. They wanted him out, not to be the one to take over in succession scheme. But why? I don't, that's all politics. You see, this is what I'm saying. Politics should not destroy a business. And I say this with all the goodness for the country, that, you see, that is when, then came that, then there was, even after saying, you know, the government agreeing that, and PSC public account saying everything was brought in. Then came, the scandal kept on growing because there was fueling. They wanted to destroy Goldenberg. So the gold smuggling starts. And it did. The whole thing went to, you know, the whole trade went away from, and smuggling started after from 94. So what happened? Then came the issue of the IMF. So the IMF audited. They found a big hole in central bank. So what was the hole? It was nothing to do with Goldenberg. The whole was lending unsecured loans to political bank. Political banks, you know, and associated banks, you know, to the power at that time. So the IMF said, it's on record, the IMF said that they want a conviction, and they want this thing to come to, you know, the court must do a conviction. And I've got rulings here. So would that time, if you remember, look, this is a whole sequence. That time, the LSK and Honorable Raila brought a case. He brought a private prosecution, okay, against everybody, against Saitoti, against Kotut, against, you know, all the people, Koinange and me, right? 2 cases were there. What happens? The government comes and no leprosy enters and takes, correct? Then what happens after that? I am charged alone, without others. So they say, okay, let's have this one. Then, let's have this one. There is no politics in this. This is the minority Kenyan. And then what happens? They charge once, I get bail. Then charge again another, then bail. Because then we go through the trial. Then comes IMF says, oh, there has to be a conviction. The court blasts. They said the courts do not work on, pressures from IMF or from media or anybody. The courts go by the evidence, the facts.
But there are those who said you swayed, you held so much influence, the judiciary, it was not possible to pin you down. Even remember they said that you were enjoying a luxurious life while in prison, in committee. So there are those who say you are very influential in terms of having the systems work in your favor. What do you say?
Duncan, everybody has got their mouth, and everybody has their right of opinions. But what I say is that what the world today, the Kenyan judiciary is most respected. And to go further, you have a Kenyan judge in an international court, a judge who sat on my case, Justice Olwoch. She's in the International Court of Justice in The Hague.
What was that storm all about, your prison life? That you were a king in prison, that at some point you were taken ill, you were supposed to be in a private wing in hospital. They said you being pampered, so to speak. You know the story. What was it? How was your life in prison now that you've said you received the Bible while in committee?
Well, I was in committee in 1994, August, for 3 months. And yes, I was not in the main blocks. There is a segregation because of the dangers, because there could be harm and all that. But again, it was the blood of Jesus which was protecting me. That's when I received, our Lord Jesus Christ. He chose me. And then that was in committee. So this is why it's a prison, but there is a block which is, you are isolated. So there was nothing like what they are saying. Yes, after the next time I was in Kenyatta Hospital, and then the forces of darkness, the evil persecutors, who wanted me either, completely dead or something. They were publishing all this and pushing me back to committee, and they wanted me. But, God protected me. At the end of the day, where did I get this? It's God was present. I had accepted that when I went in the second time during this Bosire commission, and this so many fake charges were brought, which were all withdrawn and not prosecuted. And so the whole idea was to intimidate me and put duress, so that was during the Bosire inquiry time.
But they said you were getting preferential treatment, access to newspapers, entertainment, and all that when you were supposed to be in hospital.
Well, I told you again, Duncan, people saying is nothing compared to what they wished. Their wish was that I should be no longer existing. And I got, I got many threats, but that's all lies. There is no preferential, because the treatment was according to the law.
Who was the person, you've repeatedly said that there are people who wanted to see you dead. Who was this person who was hell-bent to make life difficult for you? And as you've claimed that they expected you to die in prison, who was after you?
Well, I mean, they were, as I told you, starting from I spoiled so many people's businesses. So, you know, in business, you know, rivalry, if you cut off somebody's smuggling link, this, so then they will go to politics, they'll go to propaganda, they'll go media. Then, so I'm not saying a particular, but there was that thing that I was even told to leave the country, that it will be safe for me. But I said, I will not run away from my country, you know, with all these criminal charges and accusations. Then I will be guilty. When my conscience is clear, I withstood all the cases.
But you seem to have an issue with the then Director of Public Prosecutions. What was the matter?
Yes, that was, there was a problem between the then Director of Prosecution, Murugor, and because he was the central bank lawyer, you know, and the matter was settled, and he had, you know, he was the one who was defending central bank. I was, they wanted to sell my hotel, Grand Regency. And I went to court. I had, you know, successfully blocked. And finally, when we come to a settlement, then he asked for certain fees to be paid, which was nearly 200 million. And I said, this has to be, you know, approved through the company, like whether it's Exchange Bank or this. And when he sent the fee note, you know, I had to ask the central bank to include this in the settlement. And unfortunately, that went wrong. And he since that time, he had been quite, you know, against me.
What about the murder charge that you had, that prosecution against you, murder charge?
Yes, after that incident of central bank, he became during the new government of Kibaki, he became the DPP, and then he brought up he brought so many, you know, trumped up charges, and until but most of the charges in Kenya law is bailable. You know, it's bailable. So the only unbailable charge is capital offense, which is a murder charge.
During that time?
During those times, yes. Constitution was. Yes. So then he had, you know, he went to the extreme of bringing a fake, trumped up murder charge of me shooting some German guy in 10 years ago. He ordered the grave to be dug, and which is to me was like so he had through that murder charge they held me in custody. There is no bail, so I was held up throughout the Bosiri inquiry in confinement, and finally the murder case was heard. And it was before, it was delayed quite a bit because it was before Justice Osiemo, and he was leave and sick, and it was being adjourned until the then Chief Justice said this has to be finished and heard, and it was put before Justice Lesit, who heard and made her ruling.
Now, in political parlance, they say there are no coincidences. Nothing will happen by coincidence in politics.
Yes.
So one more time, you are meeting with Kanyotu It wasn't a coincidence, definitely, because you ended up being co-directors in Goldenberg International Limited, and at some point you mentioned Moi as a shareholder in Goldenberg International Limited.
Who was that? Kanyotu was a shareholder.
Kanyotu was a shareholder.
Yes.
And in politics, there's no coincidence. So you are meeting. Who introduced you to Kanyotu? Because you are 24. He was the chief spy master in the country. Like earth and heavens, worlds apart. So for a 24-year-old to meet Kanyotu and invite him for tea upstairs, then strike a deal. Who introduced you to Kanyotu?
God introduced me to Kanyotu because I was at Pir Muhammad, measuring. That time, I'm talking of 89. They were measuring the Brioni suits, and he was also there measuring his suit. So, you are waiting while those Italian tailors are measuring, and it's like sitting, and then you don't sit quiet, next to each other. You introduce yourself and you talk, and that's where I talked. I said, I'm a goldsmith, I'm this, yeah. And then, of course, he's the director of intelligence. So he asked me many questions. He says, oh, gold. So is there gold in Kenya? I said, yes. There's so much gold that, it's transiting, and then he asked, that so why, how do you trade? What does it? I said it's all going smuggling out.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said he was a proxy. They believe it was not himself.
No, it was his own name on the company. Yeah, yeah, proxy and all these. It was all people who are not happy with Moi, because he gave the, the government gave the exclusivity. So it was again, and don't forget, even those other people, my business rivals like Nagin and others, who wanted to do this business, I mean, who were blocked out. So many people were blocked out. Okay. BMG and so many people. They had already, requested through other politicians, to have the same export license, but they were not given because it was exclusive. So this is where the whole thing was like, people were not happy with whether it is Kanyotu or the Moi government, or like, so it became like a fireball.
In 2023, Al Jazeera's investigative unit unleashed a 4-part documentary detailing a series of gold smuggling squads in southern Africa that it said helped criminals launder hundreds of millions of dollars. The report also pointed to the involvement of high-ranking officials in the smuggling and money laundering in a bid to surmount the choking grip of Western sanctions. What do you say to that claim by Al Jazeera?
From the start, Duncan, let me explain you that Al Jazeera, they did not come as genuine, they came, it was like they were wolf in sheep's clothing.
It is investigative journalism.
Yes. So investigating journalism is fine, but there was nothing, they came as investors. They wanted to invest, So Al Jazeera, they disguised themselves, and, so all I told them is invest in tourism, invest in hotels. Kenya has got, hotels, and so has got many other countries. And so then they were all, pre-planned, because the Al Jazeera was, according to me, was hired by my, the business rivalry fight going on there between in Zimbabwe and South Africa and all that, and also politics got involved, because the funny part is that their report was released during the 2023 elections. So it was all timed. So I would say that it was Al Jazeera. You know, it was they were not honest, and they put me in the midst of so many other South Africa banking, laundering scandals, and this, you know. Okay. So that gave me a very bad image, and it was all pre-planned evil intentions. Okay. You know, calculated agenda to you know, please some of the, because again, same story, history repeats itself in Zimbabwe. People didn't like me.
You did watch the documentary, the same documentary you watched, right?
Yes, of course.
At some point, there were those recordings that indicated that you seemed to confirm that you have been given certification to engage in money laundering. Some of those recordings, as you said, they came as wolves in sheepskin. But the recordings that they said, and now that you said you watched the documentary.
But Duncan, you know, if you want, I can produce, you know, your AI voice and the documentary. That's all wrong. What I was explaining them, it is you need anti-AML, AMLA. These are this is all the checks, KYC, anti-money laundering, and then they put their words, and it was all doctored, cut and paste, fit here and fit there, and it was all you know, pre-planned, evil motives to show that Zimbabwe and, you know, and South Africa and all this. So there was bigger politics involved in but as far as you know, so this was the real person. You see, this is the person who was like is not the draconian photos they are showing there. Okay. It was a normal, you would believe it. You think he's the billionaire or somebody investing. And it's not like, so I took him to the tourism show to say, okay, you want to invest in tourism, hotels and all that. But their aim was gold in Zimbabwe and this and. So the words, if you go through the documentary, it's just that they've surrounded it by all the, you know, all the grievous things and the sound effect and the this and, but check the words. Some of the words are not even the words I said. So but not only that, yes, they have been sued. Okay. We have got rulings. Yeah. They were sued by the Fidelity Refinery employee in Zimbabwe, and they have a claim of $2 million.
What about you?
Yes, I've sued them also in UK. We wrote, we have the papers here, and we have also sued them in Zimbabwe. We have sued here in Dubai. So we have lodged the complaint.
Still on the same recording, and you confessed that in 1992 you played a very integral role in keeping Moi in power, and you were an advisor to Moi then. What was your role in the 1992 transition politics in Kenya? Because that is when the country transited from one party into now multi-party. Come 1993, it was no longer KANU, but there were other parties. It was now a multi-party democracy. What role did you play?
I played a catalyst role by stabilizing the Kenyan economy and the foreign exchange balance of the country. You see, once you have enough foreign exchange where the lives of the people are comfortable, there is no queuing, there is medicine, you have money to pay for everything you import, correct? The trade balance went up, is when the national intelligence would advise the president to allow multi-party.
How much did you contribute to fund YK92? Because you are part of Moi's system. You said you and Kanyotu helped Moi in 1992. In terms of contributing to the campaigns. How much do you give?
No, this was, you know, the normal donations. I know this is what has come out in the Bosire inquiry. But I repeat here and on record that Bosire inquiry, where was I? I was under murder charge, under duress, under, you know, and they are.
But you said it was normal donation, so I was asking how much did you donate?
I think the companies, the bank, the company, so it was helping, you know, it was the hand of hope, so it was under the social corporate responsibility.
Okay.
So
how much?
Yeah, how much is, you are talking 35 years ago.
Yes.
So I would not have, it was normal, it was not much even, and the thing was when the profit came, you know, so Mr. Kanyutu had his share, so it was normal for him, he was more generous also.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was normal.
But again, you're not assigning any figure. It was normal. How much was normal then?
Well, I wouldn't exactly, you know, it's 30, you're talking of 35 years ago, 36 years ago, and if, you know, I mean, if you ask somebody what he had, you know, where he was 5 years ago for Christmas or New Year, would you know where you are 5 years ago if I ask you?
You seem to carry this cross of Goldenberg alone. You seem to be the martyr or the Jesus in this, carrying this cross. Who are the other persons that were involved in terms of the chain? Because it appears like you're the permanent fixture. When you talk of course it was your idea, but you seem to be the one carrying this cross alone. Who are the other people who are in the chain of the Goldenberg idea? Are they still alive? Are they dead? Who are some of these people that, because it appears that this is a cross that you've been assigned to carry alone, but definitely you are not alone. Who are the other players, either dead or still alive?
No, there was, of course, they charged all the, like later on, during, after the Bosire inquiry, you know, and don't forget that the Bosire inquiry was quashed, the report was quashed.
In terms of the idea, when you met Kanyutu and you mooted this idea of let us get into this business from Goldenberg International Limited, who are the other supporting members or the think tank around that? Because it is your name that is only there and you are not acting alone.
No, it was, of course, I discussed with Mr. With Mr. Kanyutu, the whole thing, and of course I had to brief the Treasury, I had to brief the Ministry of Mines, I had to brief, so it's not like...
You are talking to people. Who are they?
Oh, yes, of course, I explained to the then Minister of Finance, Saitoti, then the PS Medio, then I had to go, we wrote, it's all documented, we wrote letters, the whole idea. And of course, we had to also, you know, explain to the department, you know, of customs, chariot. So it was a lot of people, central bank, you know, Kotut, Yongo. So this is where then they charged after into Kibaki government came, then they charged all these people, including Owayo and, you know, all the people, you know, Wanjia and Ryungu and Kotut and everybody. Yes. But no, think tank is this, as I told you, this is a very special, you know, trade. You know, gold is not anybody's, you know, cup of tea to understand, because daily people are being cheated in gold. There is fake gold. People are told there is gold in Uganda, there is gold in Tanzania, there is gold. You saw even the Tanzania gold was caught in Kenya a few years back, and it all used to come. So the whole gold trade is smuggling, and and countries lose money. But my you know, speciality and always God gifted you know, business acumen is to how to make sure that this thing benefits it's the people of the country and the governments. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets that you introduced a scheme that maybe thousands, if not millions, died because there was no health care? Thousands, if not millions, they lost, they could not get job opportunities, hence their future shattered, dreams crashed and all that. The fact that they are told it is because of Goldenberg, the economy went into ICU and the country was in a mess. And when you look at that and the idea you came on board, do you have any regrets that this is associated with you? Whenever they talk of a failed economy, they talk of Goldenberg, then the name Pattni comes on board. Do you have any regrets that your idea now led to all this?
First of all, may God forgive you for, saying these things, and forgive the others who think like that. But that is a myth. That is brainwashing. That is the lies repeated 1,000 times, which people believe it to be true. I have no regret, because I know the records that Central Bank knows, the history between 1989 to 94 knows. The repeal of Exchange Control Act is my evidence that I built up the foreign exchange reserves. In fact, contrary to what they say that I did this and I did the economy, no single person, can be the person for the economy. I'm not the government. Neither am I the central bank governor. So all that, people have been brainwashed, by, this is what I say, fake media. You see, that all that is total lies, and it doesn't take, that hundreds of cases, if if I was a liar, and as you are saying, I've got it in black and white here. It's by the government of Kenya, by the parliament of Kenya. They said it here. Gold export earned. It says Goldenberg saved Kenya. It's none other than the minister of the government of Kenya, Minister of Finance. That time it was Mr. Musalia Mudavadi. But all this you are telling me, or this, or that, or this, is people chickening out. When all this propaganda and negative publicity, and you see, they are brainwashed completely that Goldenberg is the evil, the devil, the whatever. But it's far contrary to that. And go with a sound mind, with unbiased mind, and check the records. That Goldenberg helped the foreign exchange, surplus of the economy. Check what were just go even through your media. What was happening before 1990? Queues of petrol, no foreign exchange for medicine, no. How do you say that people died and blah, blah, blah died? And I mean, where is the proof? Let's have, from Ministry of Health or something, it's easy to speak. But do you know, I, at a young age, defended myself by the power of God and the rule of law.
Just to set the record straight, as I said, you've been in Kenya, and as I've said, anytime they want to talk about the economy, they drag in the name Goldenberg, and these are the things. So those were not my words. As I said, this generation has been reminded that it's because of A, B, C, D that happened in the 90s. So it wasn't my charge against you, so don't get offended.
No, but you had to ask the question.
Yes,
so I said,
you see, now I'm a messenger. I have to do what they call the Lord's work. No. But tell me, apart from, you've said that gold is inside you, apart from gold business, what other businesses do you do, and in how many states?
Look, let me explain you what my heart was for Kenya. It's not only gold business. I had hotels, I had duty frees at the airport, I had, but what did they do to my duty free? 200, not GSU, not Kenya police, thugs, goons were allowed into the restricted area at midnight in the airport. When? After Moi event. They destroyed all my, they threw all my duty-free goods onto the road through. And the pictures are there, go through the CCTV cameras, how those goons were doing. Pulled the lights out, pulled this, destroyed that. Whiskies, Johnny Walker, blue level, red level, in the toilet, bottles, empty bottles. But one thing, don't forget, God is there looking. Vengeance is for the Lord. And when what happens after that? You tell me. What happened to in the Jomo Kenyatta after the fire?
The fire. But again, as I asked, what other businesses do you engage in just to be...
Oh, sorry. So I had about 300 jobs there in the duty free. Then we had Grand Regency Hotel. I had 720 jobs. What happens? They forced me to surrender Regency, to give it to Libya, correct? Because of whatever relation. I said, you know, that I have no, because I was requested that time that to give up that, so everything is, they settled. They will have no claim or complaint. And what did I say? I said that what good is it if I keep the Regency and lose my soul? What is it if I gain the whole world and lose my soul? I was guided by the principle of Jesus.
So in how many countries are you having your other businesses, other interests?
And look what happened to Grand Regency. 700 people lose jobs. Yes. It's there like a chef, closed. Yes, yes. So jobless. Yeah. Jobless in duty free, jobless in Grand Regency. Over 1,000 people.
So apart from Kenya, in what other countries do you have other businesses that you do?
No, we have in Zambia, we have Zimbabwe, we have now Niger, we have, you know, we are based here. So it's not my will. As I said, the prophet was not respected in his hometown. He had to go elsewhere.
My next question is, what is your net worth?
This is a question which has been asked. You see, my net worth is in heaven. And I'm worth as much as God has given me. Jehovah Jireh. God is my provider. You know, let me tell you, you shall not boast. You shall not go, you know, you see, your net worth can be zero. If God, you know, tomorrow, you know, just presses his finger and you see, I've seen people going from billionaires to zero, you know, like you have seen it.
But here on earth, what is your net worth? Apart from now the heaven, here on earth, what is your net worth?
That is, Duncan, as a man of God, there is nothing is mine. It's all belongs to God.
You see, even a man of God, yes, accountability, I'm sure it's key. And as a man of God, you're supposed to be transparent and accountable, even to your flock.
Yes.
So how much is the net worth of the man of God?
Look, I can be worth anything which God gives. You know, I can tell you now, and tomorrow, God has reduced or increased. So, you see, it is in my principle. It's in my, you know, the preaching that one shall not boast of his material possessions. I give glory be to God. To
in
glory
your
to
preaching,
God.
You also say, you say the truth and the truth shall do what?
Set you free.
So what is your net worth?
The net worth is what I said. This is my net worth. This one is worth trillions. This is the real net worth. Is the word of God is my net worth. So
you acquired the Bible while in committee. So is that the only, your net worth? Because you said you were given the Bible in committee.
Yes, I was given in committee. And
okay, so what is the worth of your Bible?
The worth of the Bible is valueless. And that's why I've kept, it's the same Bible I was given. This is the same. That's why I'm telling you, Duncan, that this question has been asked to me by some. So this is why I say to you, and I will always say the same thing, that Jehovah Jireh.
But
God is my provider.
You have listed business establishments in Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Niger, here in the UAE. They must have some value, sort of.
Yeah, but you see, one thing I don't do is, go counting. And let me tell you as a special, wisdom advice. The minute you count, you will lose. I've seen people, they say, oh, I have a jet, I've got this. You saw. Even you take a simple case in Kenya, Mr. Somaya. He had a Gulfstream, he had the jets, he had but you see, what is the thing is, I do not, one thing is that I am a servant of God and I always will bless others through my help. And as I told you, you can go to Kenya and see my charity work is still going on. Zimbabwe is going on. So this is why I'm saying that we give. I just now told you, what good is it, if I gain that net worth and the whole world, and I lose my soul. That's why I'm saying.
If one Dixon Onyango steals from you today, you wouldn't know how much has been stolen from you or how much you've lost, because you're a businessman, and the hallmarks of a good businessman is keeping records and knowing what they have in terms of assets, liabilities, and all that.
No, that is where they go wrong.
So which businessman doesn't keep records or doesn't know their net worth? No,
I'm one of them as a servant of God. If I was not, today, you will not be even here to see. Because I would have... Do you know how much I lost in Kenya? How much I lost? I've got a ruling, which has been awarded by the Justice Talk Board against Kenya Airport Authority.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying...
It appears I will not get what I'm wanting, but let us look at what I'm looking for. It appears you, man of God, has decided to withhold. Clearly, maybe these are the instances where the truth will not set you free. In January 2011, Kamlesh Pattni led a delegation of 100 elders and 4 journalists to Libya for a meeting with the now deceased powerful President Colonel Muammar Gaddafi at his farm in Sirte. Mungiki sect leader Maina Njenga was also part of the entourage. 2 Saharan camels were slaughtered to welcome the Pattni delegation as per the desert tradition. The businessman turned politician and preacher then crowned President Gaddafi as Africa's King of Kings. But when he was ousted and subsequently murdered months later, Pattni shifted his base to Harare, Zimbabwe, and transferred the crown to President Robert Mugabe. What informed that trip? Who funded that trip?
You see, the late President Muammar Gaddafi had a vision for United States of Africa. And he had a similar vision, which I had, and so he had a vision to help the people of the rural areas. The clan elders, the chieftains. In Uganda we call them the kings of the. So that was funded, of course, by President Gaddafi himself, but. As I tell you, your question was, how did I meet Kanyot? That is smaller to how did I meet Gaddafi.
Who funded this trip?
Gaddafi, of course. The trip, The trip to Libya?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he sent his own plane. He sent a jet. There is all documentary on it. He sent his plane, and I was the elected the House of Elders of Kenya chairman.
How did the Gaddafi get to know you?
Again, it's we always say that in every bad thing there is a good thing. What appears bad to me, God is doing good. So it was through the Grand Regency Hotel, because he wanted to buy. I was the owner. I had put a block on it, and the embassy and his people came, also to talk to me and say that, look, this we are not forcing, but only this, that it's a policy of the Libyan leader, and to have a hotel in each part of Africa, and he has got in South Africa everywhere. So I said yes. I said I have no problem. I've discussed with the government, and I'll remove the orders, and I let it go. I let it go, and this message went to him as a leader. He had whole of Africa in his heart. So then he invited me.
You visited Gaddafi in mid-January. I think 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, he was removed from power. He had to run for safety. Eventually, months later, they captured him and killed him. Did you see this coming, and did you expect the powerful person Gaddafi would go through what he went through?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a very safe country, and he was. He even welcomed all the elders to his hometown of Sirte, and he even welcomed them by sacrificing a camel and all that. So, and he was crowned the King of Kings of Africa. Yeah, nothing.
How do you think was behind his downfall? Who engineered Gaddafi's removal from office, and why, in your opinion?
It came from outside,
Okay.
So, but I wouldn't exactly know who was engineered or anything, because we were trying to help Africa. He had said form the Central Bank of Africa, bank for the whole Africa, and he was ready. He was contributing 2 billion, and all other African states were to contribute each state about 100 million. So, but it did not come to realize. He passed away, which was unfortunate.
Okay. In December 2024, the US and the UK governments issue sanctions on you and your associates. They call for freeze of your assets, confiscation, travel bans. How has this one affected you?
Well, of course, it's affected because the sanctions were issued, without through misinformation, and basically, it's 35 years after the Goldenberg. I mean, so, but of course, this is through. To me, it's like through It was through the propaganda media of Al Jazeera, and because you see, normally, in the West, they actually go by the media reports and all that. So, but it has, of course, affected to the strength that it affects my family, and it affects my name, but we have applied through the law and procedure. The only thing is that these sanctions, are administrative, and they are not punitive. As it's said in the sanctions that these are put to change the lifestyle of a person, and it's not a punishment. But we have challenged it by putting a petition as per the requirement of the OFAC rules, and we put the facts very clearly that that what they saw in Al Jazeera and this thing was all a very 35-year-old, and also and we have put the fact that there is no the Al Jazeera was investigated by the government of Zimbabwe, and they found that the whole thing was based on propagandas and ill motives, and the central bank issued a statement and press release. So as far as we are sitting, there is no investigation, no offense, nothing, and the sanctions again have been engineered through this business rivalry.
Okay.
Yeah, because of people sending these things, and these things happen through the embassies and all.
On a good day, when everything is working optimally, everything is running, what amount of gold do you process or handle in a day, and what is the equivalent money-wise?
Well, gold is a high turnover business, and it's valuable. So in a week, because this is you have to buy, then you have to refine, then you have to surrender it to government, then they pack it and it goes. So it runs into. You mean it's not actually daily is only here you buy and sell.
Okay, weekly.
Yeah. So weekly it is like now. Of course, the gold price has gone up. So it could be like from $3 to $5 million, turnover.
Okay.
Yeah. So depending on the pricing, and it's a bit complicated because it moves daily. It can go up $100, it can fall down 100. So you have to know how to secure yourself, hedge. People have gone bankrupt here, in like many gold companies have gone because of this volatility.
At some point, you converted to Christianity.
Yes.
You acquired a new name, Brother Paul.
Yes.
And are you still a preacher?
Yes, indeed. I preach in in many countries. I've preached in Caribbean, in Antigua Barbuda. I've preached in the UK. I preach in Zimbabwe. I preach, So I was also, looking at putting up a church also. We started Hope International Ministry in Kenya. So like Apostle Paul in the biblical, my work is to plant the church, and I move forward. Plant to another country, Zimbabwe, plant in Niger now to open the church.
So in Kenya, who is in charge? Whom did you leave your church with?
Oh, we left one church. We left it to we converted a lot of Mungiki that time. And we also preached with Maina Jenga, and so we left that to Pastor Maina Jenga. He became also a devoted, preacher. And then also...
Maina Jenga is a devoted preacher.
He was preaching in the Hope International Ministry. He was, with me, I mean, like he was preaching. And then, but no, he has also preachers, of course. There are many. Okay. Many people got, came to the Lord through that, and also in other people have churches also in other areas there, and but I still preach to people when I meet them. I give glory to God, and I give my my experience of life is like the what is written in the Bible. Is this? I mean the name Paul was given to me by Bishop Kitonga of Redeemed Gospel Church. You know, I was baptized in their pool there, and I intend to now to change that name. I want to put it in my passport.
Oh.
Because now people know me Paul more than the other name.
Okay.
So glory is all glory be to God for that.
Okay.
And so I think that I mean, I don't need to produce a lorry of documents, but it's been a pleasure, and you know, I wanted to.
We haven't finished yet.
Yes.
I want to know that in 2007 you contested the parliamentary seats in Westlands under Kenda Party.
Yes.
And I believe in 2013 as well. You have the wealth. In Kenya, they say factor number one in politics, you have to be liquid. That is a credential that I'm sure you passed with the flying colors. What went wrong? Because you had the resources. 2007, 2013.
Yes, I was the chairman, elected chairman of Kenya National Democratic Alliance, Kenda Party, and as you remember, I had the highest number of candidates enrolled, you know, in every constituency for that election, and Lina Jebi Kilimo won in our party and other, you know. So, of course, I contested twice, but the first time it was not, the second time I was number 2 after Gumo. And, but then I retired from politics because, you know, there was that debate also about pulpit and politics.
Okay.
To be a politician and to be a pastor.
With your name all over, do you feel like repenting or seeking any forgiveness anytime soon? Because your name has been put in the line for everything they mention is because of Kamlesh Pattni and all that.
Well, you know, you only seek repentance and forgiveness if you have actually committed the things they are saying. Of course, let the one who has not sinned throw the first stone. Because I don't know what I should repent about. Show me. When I've done, you know, good, and I've been repaid evil, you see.
When are you coming back home?
I can come with you tomorrow, but I think it is not my will, but it's God's time is the best time, and because I still have to go to Niger, I have to go to Zimbabwe, I have to go to the Africa Summit in China. But definitely, our next interview will be at home.